Folks, we are live. Welcome to Gamers Health. As the open door behind our shoulders will show you, we are in the poke you in the nose. We are in the Poconos. We are away in the country. No crib for a bed. No, no, different. Wrong song. In any case, we're having like a little mini vacation.
Yeah.
We've taken our little Dotson out for a number of walks
And
already.
she is very happy, and there's loads of pep in her step. You'll remember not too long ago she had, you know, she was diagnosed with, I guess, a slip disc in her back. And so, we were trying to um, work on healing her. And our steps have been working. So we've been doing, instead of acupuncture, we've been doing red light therapy
Yes.
for her little back. And so she's been responding well to that and hasn't been on any medication.
Uh, right.
I feel
Folks,
like
our bars are low and my
I
aim
don't
is
mean our
high.
personal bars, but I mean our bars are
I
actually
mean,
quite high.
I guess I could put the phone in the window and see how
Do you want me to
effective.
put him?
Yeah, put the phone in the window. I think it gets a third bar if we do that. Yeah,
The first one or second?
no, just eat this first window.
This one.
Yeah, lean it up against the window. Yeah, we just yeah. All right, let's see.
Is that doing it?
Prop maybe. So I was gonna use the phone as a prop, but that I not.
You can use my phone.
Yeah, I know, but I was gonna use it as a to show. But for later, don't worry
Oh,
about it.
because you need to show that.
I can explain it. I don't need to show it.
Okay.
So in any case, by the way, being in a Poconos means we have two options for the internet. I use my hotspot, which is the Hotsy Totsy. Yeah, I know. I figured we were strobing. I had a feeling. Are we better now, Fugly? I think we are. We
We
put
hope.
we put the phone in the window. I think it gets an extra bar there. I either go for the hotspot or I go for the house's piss poor DSL. And I don't think the house's piss poor DSL is going to do us any good.
I don't think that's gonna hold us.
I'd rather take the risk with the phone. Like I said, the phone right now is against the side window on that side, and fingers crossed. I really can't cross this hand's fingers, but
Really?
yeah, whatever. I got the
Oh yeah, the atrophy in the.
yeah, so but I can still do the Spock thing with both hands.
Oh
Ah.
right.
So
That's hard for me a little bit.
so was this week was Doctor's Appointments Week, brought to you by your favorite health insurance plans. So Rach had to see her lady doc.
Yeah.
She had to see her lady doc on Tuesday in the evil borough of Manhattan, affectionately referred to as the city by those of us that live in New York City, but not in in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Because by going into the city, in addition to whatever tolls I may pay to, if I take the tunnel, there's a toll, but I have to pay $15 for the privilege of driving south of 59th Street. So,
Yeah.
but in any case, we got Rachel to her appointment early. They took her early. It wrapped up early.
Yep. It was all
Er,
good.
Early, actually, every appointment we had this week
Was
wrapped.
wrapped up before it was probably supposed to even start.
Well, so on Wednesday I had Tina. Welcome.
Hi, Tina.
On Wednesday I had my cardiologist. I believe my blood pressure was 118 over 70 or 116 over
Oh
70.
yeah, in the cancer talk on Friday, like with my surgeon, she when they did my blood pressure, it was 110 over 70, and they were like, "Oh wow, it's low." And
It's low but not dangerous. And my cardiologist is like, yeah, I'd rather have your blood pressure a little bit on the low side than a little bit on the high side. And I'm like, that is fine with me.
well, we'll also just keep watching because, like, as we lose weight and as we continue working with our diet and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, um, they can go down, and
Yeah,
you know, maybe I could go from the 50 milligram
to
to
25.
25.
All this stuff is can get tweaked as your health improves. But we're gonna get to a lot of that stuff. So Thursday, I had my endocrinologist. He now has a new office. He's part of whatever.
He's part of the network that I use for, like, where my cancer center is,
Yeah.
and well, most of my other services except primary care.
and your podiatry.
Podiatry is out of there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I now have doctors in 3 different medical circles or
Yeah, me
services.
too.
So it's like, all right, is what it is. Um, but it's it was interesting because my endocrinologist, he's very skilled, very qualified. And by the way, if you hear some dinging going on, it's my sister. When my family is very obsessive compulsive when it comes to uh, I have a question and I need an answer right now. So expect a few more dings before the night is out. But his new office ran like clockwork.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That whole network is a pretty well oiled machine. The only part that isn't, like, is the play is the Rego Park, because Rego Park, it's a very, very densely populated area, and so, like, there's just a constant demand for
Too many people are
services.
using the services, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, like, when you make appointments, that's why I go in the back and I wait for the nurse to make me an appointment instead of going, like, to the front or calling on the phone for it, because it'll be like, oh, in this many months.
Yeah, it's like no, no.
So I let the nurse do.
But I mean, I thought we were going to be late. We got caught in traffic. It's a new facility that Rachel had 2 appointments in with her network already, and the parking sucks, but we got the best parking spot possible. I get up there with like 3 minutes to spare. I'm a new patient. They check me in. 1, 2, 3. And before I could sit my butt down and look at my phone to catch up on emails, I heard my name being called.
Yep.
So I was like, "Holy crap!" So that was my third. Now we had thought initially about going to the Poconos on the third, but it would have meant a lot of things falling into place properly,
Mm.
and you never know with doctor's appointments, and there's just that whole stress. So I was like, you know what? We went up on the fourth. We came up here yesterday, and it was an interesting trip up here. I've been coming up to the Poconos since I've been like, I don't know, 5, 6. I was a little kid. I've been driving it since my late 20s. Uh, Apple Maps took me on a way that I have never gone before.
Yeah, this was some roundabout back.
Roundabout back roads, passing
Yeah.
lakes, and you know what? Wait, delayed response rates.
Oh, now it's
Now it's a high glucose.
kicking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. But it was actually a very relaxing drive, all things considered. But it avoided what I am sure were July 4th shutdowns of
Yeah.
different different parts of our trip, because a lot of these smaller towns shut down roadways to do their 4th of July parades, Memorial Day
And then we were
parades.
reminded too of, like, oh, the volunteer fire departments
Mm-hmm.
are going to be out in force, with their little fundraising. So
I don't want to call it a shakedown because that sounds really rude, but July 4th weekend is one of the most popular weekends for your local fire departments to come out. And they generally find places where they know you have to travel, and it's like, oh, let's just block the street going to Walmart. They don't block it, but
I like that they block like the main artery going through the little town.
yeah,
Or not block
they
it,
block
but
it, but
they
they're
walk out, you know.
with their hat in hand.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even if I'm driving to New Jersey, I'm giving a buck or two because you
Yeah, we're
never
always happy to do that because they're volunteer fire departments. So, like, they don't have to necessarily do that. And
right. And
yeah.
God forbid I'm in an accident or my
Hmm.
family member is. Who's going to respond to it? It's going to be these volleys.
Yeah.
You know. So TXG, welcome. So that our trip up was relatively uneventful. It was an interesting trip up. Oh, I should say relatively. Our doggy, she was sick on Friday night. And Thursday night, and she was sick Friday morning. So Rach wisely decided to bring a wee wee pad in the car, just in case the doggy was going through anything.
Had another bout of vomiting.
Which, as we are about to go from the highest point, one of the highest points on. Were we on 84 at that point? Yeah,
Yeah, we were on
84,
84. And
and it's got this really high
yeah.
point. Um, I hear Rich going, "Oh God," and then I hear the dog retch, and I'm like, the dog is retching toward
Oh,
my
yeah,
side.
you hear the tummy going.
Yeah. Yes, she we're in a pokey nose, and Rage caught it all on the wee wee pad. But right as this is happening, at the top of this part of 84, this height, there's a texting rest stop without a bathroom, but or any facilities whatsoever. But you can stop and text. Well, it was perfect to pull over, throw out vomit, and let the doggy get a walk in. So the timing was,
It was perfect that that thing just presented itself.
yeah, you know, it was like, okay, dog. If you're gonna puke on demand, that's the demand that I want to see in the future. Thank you so much. Thank you for I think of Wayne's World.
Oh, no.
If you're gonna spew into this, and they give him the little cup from the doctor's office to get a
Right.
sip of
Little
water.
Dixie.
Little the little Dixie reverse pyramid cup. Oh my God, those were the days. In any case, we got up here. Timing it. Listen, we've come up here quicker, but I can definitely say we haven't had a
Yeah,
more
the dog was
scenic.
pretty patient. She was
Yeah,
trying. You know, it was two
yeah,
hours in, so.
and I think it was a lot of these up and down hills parts at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was feeling the pressure in my ears. I'm sure she was. So, hey,
God bless her. She
God
did
bless.
good.
So last night, the we didn't go out to view any fireworks, but my God, we could hear fireworks.
Oh, yeah. There were a lot going on back this way.
Yeah, and I mean,
And then the lake had their, you know.
yeah. So it was, I did a video last night, and it went up this afternoon, and you can hear some of the fireworks going off in the background. Uh, Again, an interesting time was had by all. Some of the booming fireworks actually shook the house, and I think they were going off a couple miles away. So,
Well, yeah, the lake is a couple miles away. Yeah.
probably about two. But they go off actually on the island, and there's an island in the middle of the lake, which
Oh.
makes it even like a safer. So if something falls, it should fall into the water.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there was somewhere the ground was shaking. I'm not
Yeah.
sure where they were coming
Yeah, I think they were coming from the lake.
from.
And I don't think it was the gravel mining that goes on at times. I think that was
I don't think they're going to be
yeah.
mining on the 4th.
I know, I'm just joking. Fugly, dogs can puke on demand. Most people don't know that. Well, this one certainly knew the right time.
Mhm.
TXG, mom and dad had a giant chocolate lab, and one day were hesitating letting him out. He apparently had to shit. The mess he left when it started was the thing of legends.
Yeah,
Um,
no, sometimes you walk in and be like, oh my God, all of that came out of you?
yeah. All right. So here, I will tell my doggy poop story. Um, when back in the day when I was working, my parents offered to watch a friend's dog. Now my parents had no experience with dogs. It's a full size dog. I forget.
It was a poodle, right?
Yeah, it's like, but it's a full grown poodle. Not even.
Yeah, the standard
It was a
poodle.
standard poodle. RPG grandma, welcome. So it was a standard poodle. So
That's crazy.
they didn't understand. They just thought, like they let the dog out in the backyard before they went to bed, and that was like they didn't realize that dogs often don't poop on demand. They poop when they gotta poop, and you gotta listen to them. Like Rachel's first dog, the first dog that I had living with me, this dog knew that Rachel was not waking up in the middle of the night to take her out. But when she knew she was going to have the shits, she'd wake me up and be like, "Let's go!"
Good
Like
girl, Chloe.
she's like, "Take me out to the backyard."
Mm-hmm.
So I wake up to go to work, and I open up the door to the hallway. I'm on the second floor, and there's my mother's cat, Fritzy, and he was patiently waiting at my door because I'm the first one up every morning. I don't feed him, but he knew that. Smart cat. And he looks at me, and then he gets up and he takes 2 steps toward the stairs, and he turns back at me again. And he goes, "Meow." I'm like, "What?" And he did this. He'd go down a stair or two, turn around, and go, "Meow."
Oh,
Like, are you following? Are you? And I'm like, he's like, "I want to show you something," basically. And we get downstairs, and I turn on the hall light, and I am floored because there is dog shit
on all sides.
on all sides of the hallway, going into the living room rug. This dog shat and then tracked it everywhere. And the cat's looking at me like, "Wasn't me. You know who did this." I was like, "Well, I can wake my parents up and they won't be happy, or they can wake up later and they won't be happy. The key
Yeah,
is
that's true.
they won't be happy when I'm not here. So I'm just going to go to work." And then I called them later and said, "Did you see that?" I told them the story about how the cat gave the dog up. Flat out gave the dog up. So, but yeah, our doggie was good. She went on some walks. Again, her back has been better. The walks exhaust her because we haven't had her going on walks for a while. But we're gonna walk. We're gonna work her walks back into the schedule,
Yep.
which, by the way, is also good for us.
Yes.
So there's multiple benefits for
So
this.
she's also a tool in our toolbox
She's a tool in our
for
toolbox,
wellness.
but she's not a tool. All right?
No, she
No,
is
no,
the
no, not.
sweetest baby doll.
But
Does she need to be lifted? Is she okay?
yeah, she's passed out in her bed.
Oh, okay.
She's fine. So we did a little shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Did a little. There's an Amazon. There's a store that does Amazon like return bulk buys. Like I guess.
Like when you see the guys on YouTube that buy that get the great big boxes from Amazon, and then I guess they basically sell like the electronic stuff, stuff that they can get like good money for. I
Right,
guess they
stuff they can
sell it like on the
identify.
internet, but um these are things like that are it probably wouldn't
More
be
oddball
just
or
odd stuff, things that it the postage would cost more than what the thing costs,
uh-huh.
to
So
send.
so what they do, and now they were closed on Friday, but normally anything in their store, and it's got these tables laid out
Yeah.
for
They're
you to
basically bins.
yeah, basically
Quick bin is the right
yeah.
name for that.
So if you go on a Friday when they put everything out from the prior week, I guess whatever they won an auction and they have to picking out the best pieces, anything is $2. And then Saturday it's $1, and then Sunday it's 50 cents. Well, there was no $2 day today this week. It was $1. This is the first time that we were there. My mother talked about this. Even my father talked about it. He got something, and we found a few things. Surprisingly enough. Now, yes, if you go back on the 50 cent day, you're probably getting the dregs, but uh, yeah, there was a lot of crap, but a lot there was some stuff I was surprised, and was she was like, and she's going, "Is this free?" And I was like, "You know that isn't free." But I only have $2. I like it. She's like, "Yeah, just give it the $2, and we'll, mom, you pay the rest." Just I was like, "Oh my god, this kid filled up an IKEA shopping bag." And
Yes.
if you've ever been to IKEA, you
And
know
they
how.
gave her the shopping bag for free.
Yeah, you can keep the bag, kid. Keep the bag. You got it. Um, Fugly. I met a vendor last weekend that frequents those sorts of stores and resells from them. He gets a lot of dice sets that way. Oh,
Ah.
I would love to have found some dice sets. Would have been great. Grandma, I have been to one of those types of stores. This is my
Yeah, we've never seen it before.
yeah.
We would just see the guys like trying to like on the YouTube like going through the boxes and
Yep, and going, oh, more crap.
yeah, or like, oh yeah, like they're being really pumped about what they got and that they could turn a profit from it.
A
But
lot of
yeah, we
time,
hadn't been into
I mean,
a
most of them are
store
like,
like
oh,
that.
this is going to be another loss.
Yeah.
Well, this was interesting, I gotta
Hmm.
say. And everybody leaves happy.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody leaves. You're spending, and it's not like a dollar store. There are, if you can listen, if that um I don't know, phone case fits your phone, you're in heaven because you probably got a $40 phone case from Amazon. Uh, because they had some good brands on some of that stuff,
Hmm.
but they're very specific. All right,
Right to the a certain
right.
phone.
Like they had a really high end like orthopedic shoe inserts, but
Hmm.
they weren't because they
They
were
were for tiny women's feet.
right. These weren't made with the ones that you get where you can Doctor Sold and you trim the edges off. Excuse me. I'm drinking ginger beer. It's giving me the belches. TXG, have you guys ever gone to a con and gone and by the Chessex booth? Apparently, you can get a bucket full of dice for near to nothing. No, I haven't had them at any of the cons that I go to. But you can buy a pound of dice. I think it's Chessex dice on Amazon. It used to be
Mm.
cheap. I don't know how much it is now. I did it twice. They
Mm.
always guarantee you one full set, and then it's a bunch of randoms and a lot of d6s. If you play Open D6, you play Tunnels and Trolls, you play Champions, you'll be in D6 heaven. All I'm gonna say, man. All I'm gonna say. So I think we're close enough to the midpoint. We can move on to this topic.
Okay.
So I was thinking because um, a couple of weeks ago I saw a notification that there was a new app for my Freestyle Libra 2, which is my reader.
Oh, it's on that side.
Yeah, it's my reader, and I had the Freestyle Libra 2. The Freestyle Libra 3 is smaller, and that app automatically reads every, I don't know, 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever it is, automatically updates. You don't have to put your phone to your arm to read. Sometimes it reads, sometimes it doesn't. So there's a new app that was supposed to be working for the Libra 2, the Libra 3, and it was going to read every minute automatically, real time, essentially reading of your blood sugar. And I found the app literally the day after I installed my last sensor. So I had to wait until yesterday to put the new sensor on to then use the new app. And I gotta say, except for the fact that you can't import your old data, which you wish you could, um, this app seems to be a home run. I don't have to struggle to read it when it tells me my blood sugar is high or low, but doesn't tell me what it is, and then I gotta. Sometimes it doesn't want to. The Bluetooth connection won't work. This thing just works. I pick up my phone, open the app, and it tells me my latest reading. It is a tool for your toolbox if you are a diabetic.
Mhm.
I mean, your blood sugar numbers are very important. Um, you will spike, whether it's spiking up or spiking down. This is just part of being a diabetic. But a lot of times, like you go, well, if I'm going to eat bad, if I am going to make poor carb choices, let me make these poor carb choices when my blood sugar is on the lower end. Which is generally how I do it. I'm going to catch up on Fugly. Years ago, we had a pop up zip dog store in our area.
Huh.
I went in there and bought about 30 cold weather horned Viking style hats for about 25 cents each. I gave them out as freebies for friends of the fair.
Cute.
And TXG goes, yeah, I've done this pound of dice. Wasn't bad. Yeah, I mean, I may do that in time for another convention, and just I have dice to give away. I like to give away dice at when I run games. A lot of times, just little tidbits to give out. But you know, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health. And me getting more timely readings from uh, my sensor is a home run. Now, if I get it through my pharmacy, I have a prescription. These run about, I don't know, $38 for 2 weeks. One last 2 weeks, and then I think they're about $38 a piece. But if I buy them off script, they're like 90,
90.
90 $94 off script. So I'm not advising anybody to buy them off script, but if you can get them prescribed to you, a lot of prescription plans cover them. Some do not, but game changer over finger sticks.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, I feel like an allergy attack coming on. Excuse me, folks. I'm gonna be blowing my nose.
Yeah, I think it's a weird thing. Like some insurances do, and then with other insurances, you have to be on like insulin.
Right, you got to be on the
Yeah, so it
injectables.
really depends.
So what? How they decide? Like, oh, your blood sugar is controlled enough.
Yeah.
You don't need this. Well, it's controlled enough because I have the knowledge to know what's going on with my blood sugar. It is
Yeah.
really a crap shot to a large extent.
Yeah, they put people at risk.
Yeah.
Mm.
So another tool that a lot of us have, don't always use it, I'm sure, is your smartwatch. Some people have Fitbits. I have an Apple Watch. Maybe you got a Samsung Watch. It'll track your exercise. It'll gamify some of your exercise.
Right, they'll give you different challenges, and you win different awards by doing certain things. Like when you do certain workouts in the fitness app, for example, when you close all your rings, um, just yeah, they kind of incentivize it and like make it something that you like. They give you something to strive for, like little goals to meet, and you get these like so you get awards for them, or like you do an exercise routine on like a certain day, like Earth Day, or some special day during the year. Then you get like the limited edition ones, and there's just a lot of incentivization, you know
Yeah.
or incentivizing, oops, um of healthy behavior.
All right. Well, that was good.
Hmm?
I know I lost our app. Hold on a second.
You have a whole shit ton of stuff open up there.
I know, I know. I'll refind it.
I could just guess, keep clicking through them.
Or did I inadvertently close it? We'll know in a second if I start hearing echo. All right. No, there's two of us. Oh, jeez. All right. I gotta find. Hold on. Let me see. All right. I just, I don't know what the heck is going on. And it's the second time it's done it to me today.
Oh,
I don't know why it has. Oh, here is the. No, that's not it. God.
here we go. No. Oh
No, no, that's the Discord.
my goodness.
Oh, I get now. I got two open. All right, there we go.
Okay.
All right, and now I gotta kill one of them. All right. Well, there. That's the 10 car way of doing things in the Poconos. Screw things up as best you can. Um. Oh, 10 car was joined. Add to the stream. Well, yeah, I think I did. Add myself to the stream. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Mary and Joseph. Oh, Roger's daughter says hi, Rach.
Hi.
So she's getting to see
It's
us
good to see you, Chloe.
at our very best when we're here up in the Poconos.
Yeah, I'm making a ton of mistakes.
I had like technical issues with the internet connection before. Then uh, I lost my window. Then I had an extra window open, and oh my god, what am I?
Yeah.
What, should, what are we doing? What are we doing?
All right, let's get it together. Get it together. Get it together.
Well, in any case, going back to your watches, your smart watches, they can do things like your pulse. They can track your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They can track your exercise. Now, knowing what your pulse is a good thing, especially to see if like, your pulse is
To know
ever
like your resting heart rate, your walking heart rate, like and in certain types of exercise you have to know whereabouts your heart rate is for something like the HIIT workouts. You should know because like you're supposed to be operating at certain levels in those,
right.
and it's good to know because those workouts can be very tough on your body, which is why they're shorter.
Um, at some point, these watches will probably do things like blood sugar, but they're not quite there yet.
Abbott is not going to have it because they want all that money from their
I know they want their money from
yeah,
you
from
from
their, what do you call it? Those are the ones that make the um what you have, the
the
Libra 2, Libra
yeah,
3.
freestyle Libra.
Yeah, you freestyling.
Death Angel, welcome. Fugly, whenever a window closes, the Lord opens Mac. Exactly. Um, RPG Grandma, I don't know about everyone else, but we've been having the cell phone issues, internet, excuse me, and even radio,
Mm.
digital two-way. That started on Wednesday out here. Lots of folks.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't think we've had any direct issues.
I
I
feel like we've had less. But then again, that could be just up here that we
Hmm.
have less bars up here with our carrier with AT&T. You know.
So, yeah, Roger says I consider getting a smartwatch, but I'm worried I'll end up looking at it whenever I get a notification. Turn off notifications on your watch.
Yeah, I don't get them
They're
on my
not. They're
watch
novel. One of the
because you
things.
don't get to see the whole thing.
No, you get a little bit, and
Yeah.
like I was like, oh my god, I'll be able to talk on my watch as opposed to taking my phone out of my pocket. I got news for you. Playing Dick Tracy sucks.
We used the walkie-talkie feature only
Right,
a couple of times
right, and
in the
then
house.
yeah, Rachel, you there? Yeah, what's up? Nothing. I just wanted to know if you were there. I wanted to test out the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, and that was basically it.
You know,
Like there's certain kitschy things that they do, but you're
use it. If you get a smartwatch, don't let it use you. You should be using it. What can it do for you? Kind of like Kennedy. Like, it's
but
not
the
what you can
watch
do,
too
what your country
has
can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
right.
Same thing with the watch.
Your watch also has like a meditation function where it's kind of cool. I like it. There's an app in it that you can do meditation, like you can like just visualize like the lotus flower like expanding as you breathe in, and then it will pulsate when it's time to breathe out, and then it gets smaller as you're inhaling, it gets bigger, and then when it reaches its biggest, you like go. It's a nice thing, and it's something that you can do for like one
Right.
minute, 2 minute as you learn into meditate. And
Use what you want to use.
yeah.
I've never used that feature.
Oh.
But it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, what else? And then also it does have a timer. And I've used it for certain like you can use it for like hit workouts, you can use it for um just like whatever interval training that you do. I do like interval walking, so um interval walking just means that you walk 3 minutes at like a normal rate, and then you walk 3 minutes at a rate that gets you a little bit out of breath. Not crazy, like it's not running. You're not ever running in it. But it's something that's really good for your heart.
Mhm.
So it's helpful for that. So yeah, there's a lot of assists that it does have.
See, Grandma, I need to get my smartwatch charged and wear it more, but I don't. But I broke the screen on it, but it still works. You can get cases for it, like guards, screen
Yeah,
guards.
I had a watch with a broken screen for like 2 years. And I wasn't scratching
I
them.
threw the watch to Rage. I tossed it at Rage, and it didn't quite get tossed properly.
It didn't get caught properly either.
Yeah, all right. I'm just saying what happened.
So it hit
All
the
right.
floor and kept put. So I
Yeah.
had it for like 2 more years after that, and it still worked. I couldn't wear it in the water, so I'd take it off for like swimming and stuff, but it still works. And like we have these screen protectors that go over it, and had that for a couple of years.
Yes, I have
I
that
think
on
I
it.
need to replace this one soon.
Rach abuses her electronics not as bad as my sister does. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't abuse them. I like
I use them. It's not abuse. It's use. All right. So
it.
I.
Yeah, it's use, and then like I'm exercising or like some I don't know.
Okay.
Somehow it just makes contact with the floor.
All right. Death Angel, it doesn't count steps correctly or thinks I'm standing while I'm sitting.
Oh.
Funny, I'm on a long drive and it tells me congratulations, you stood for this hour. All right, so here's a little secret about these watches, right? When they think you're standing there, if you're doing a lot of like up and down motions with your hand, it's going to interpret that as you being in motion as you walking or standing, because there's that motion going on. So if you need to get a stand in, you can probably do it by lifting your arm a couple of times for about a minute, and then it'll go, oh well, he got up and down and did this, or that's where that comes from. It tells me that I slept when I take long drives and I hit that
Right. So
mental zone.
so there you don't ever take it you take it with a grain of salt, and
Yes,
you just use it for
it's
what you
for
can
you.
use it for.
You use it
you
for
know.
you use it for reference, okay? But you're not going to use it to necessarily make medical decisions. Like I tell my doctor, my cardiologist, hey, do you want to? Can you download a record of my heart rate? Do you want a record of my heart rate? I can pull it right up. No, I'll just take it when you're in the office because they trust it. They'll ask me sometimes, "What's your heart rate range been?" And I'll tell them, but they don't want to use my watch to take my pulse in the office. They want to take it
No,
themselves.
they have their ways that
Oh
they
yeah.
want to do it. Yes.
So
They're trusted.
yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, up to your grandma. Look up your watch on Amazon, and you'll be able to find a case for it. A lot of times, like two for $6, two for
Yeah.
$7.
Yeah. You get a nice deal.
My watch currently has a case on it. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
see. There you go. You can kind of see it. All right, that plastic. It doesn't interfere with what I do. It feels fine, and I'd rather crack the case.
Yes, that's how I feel.
I've done that than crack the watch.
Yeah,
Uh,
I go through cases.
yeah.
So
By the way, the new Apple watches no longer do O2 because they were using someone's patent
oh
without
right,
permission.
right. The pulse oximetry
Yep.
doesn't there's no app for it anymore.
So yeah, so
Hmm.
you can still buy a pulse ox for like I don't know $10
Yeah.
on Amazon,
Yeah.
but the O2 reading is no longer available on the new ones. Yep, that's what I just said, Foogs.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think it's
Death Angels. I need a new band for
patent
mine.
issue.
The original one has broken through all the holes that fit my wrist.
Oh, so we have these sport loops, and this is one that Eric bought on Amazon. So you can change the look of them
Yeah,
pretty easily. I have a bunch of watch bands that I
I
just
mean
keep,
my watch band is Velcro.
and they're very easy to clean. Like I just take a toothbrush and some dish soap, and then I brush them, and then I stick them in the dishwasher, and then I just let them
Yeah, Foog.
dry
My prior watch had the O2 feature. It just the new ones hold charge for
longer.
almost 2 days. My old one held a charge for almost a day.
Mhm.
So this has been if you forget to charge it, I going, oh crap, I can't go to bed. I got to charge.
Yeah.
I got 22%. That'll get me through the night. It's a beautiful thing.
And like I guess too, like it makes you think about, you know, all the other tools that we have in our toolbox to help with our health.
Right.
Things like
Your TRX.
my TRX is one of those, our treadmill,
Your yoga mat.
my yoga mat, yes, that I bring everywhere. Um what else? My resistance bands, my equipment. Um yeah, like my body, my ball,
All right,
my
right.
balls.
My balls. You've got
My
such big
balls.
balls.
Yeah, my big balls. Like, what is it called?
My balls are always bouncing from the left to the right.
I
Sorry.
guess it's called body fit ball or um,
And by the way, we're talking about a lot of stuff like all this exercise
core
stuff.
ball.
You don't
Yeah,
need all this stuff, okay? You don't
yeah.
need.
You can do just regular. Um, like body weight exercises. There
Yeah.
are so many
Like,
that we can do, but
if
just
you have the TRX, you probably don't need the body bands. Or if you have the body bands, you might not
well,
need the
they're for different purposes and to
but
keep
there's an
variety.
right, but there's an overlap in what you're going to be doing if you're trying to build strength, you're trying to build flexibility. There's an
They just
overlap.
help you hit in a
Different.
different way.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to tell people not to overwhelm yourself when it comes to starting your collection of tools. Find one that you when it comes to like for
You know what I would
exercise,
say? I would say the yoga mat or whatever mat that
right?
you want to have, um, because that's sort of like, to me, that's it all starts there, because that's your space, and it sort of sets the stage of, okay, I have this thing and I'm going to use it. I'm going to roll it out and work with it to whatever degree that I can on a given day. Um, there might be some days that I do a more gentle, restorative um, flow.
Right.
Um, and there might also be days where I do like a more vigorous flow, or, I do a chair session of like body weight, or, um, there's just so much that you can do with very little,
Right.
because so much of it, th- th- like all the body weight exercises that you can do, planks, at different degrees, um, like as obviously you're not going to start plank just going at it on the floor and holding it for like 5 minutes. You're going to start like maybe at the wall, or um, on a chair, like things like sit to stands before you can do squats. Maybe there's just so much that you can do with even just regular little household things. Like your socks can be also like, you don't have to buy necessarily those discs that you buy to put under your feet, to do certain exercises, or like to sort of skate, um, in your house. You can use your socks. You can use towels. There's just a lot that you can use to be able
Just
to. That's part of what you already have.
don't use those grippy socks from the hospital though.
No, that won't really help. But
It'll
not with the skating
it'll
anyway.
defeat the purpose. But
But they'll help you maintain your grip when you're
for a
doing
different
everything
else.
else.
Yeah. I mean, my recommendation is start doing something that when you do it, it feels good for you. Like when I do stretches, it feels damn good and rewarding.
Yeah.
And then I can go beyond the stretches to doing a little shadow boxing, and then I can move on from there. But you got to do it. You got to start it. Now, today we've gone on walks and lots of shopping. My watch has told me that I have done a cumulative amount of 68 minutes of exercise today.
Hmm.
I didn't sit down and say, I'm going to do any exercise today. I actually went out and if you go to a parking lot uh, when you go shopping and you park as far away as possible,
Yeah.
which we kind of did a lot of times, sort of inadvertently.
Right. Like, I guess, what it is. It's almost like sitting is the new smoking. And so the encouragement is to take movement breaks from sitting, and,
Yeah.
get up and walk up and down your house, or whatever you want to do around your block, whatever.
So if he had Death Angel got his blood sugar back down to 6.2. That's good.
Wow.
That's really good, especially if you are a diabetic. That's considered controlled. I know if you're not a diabetic, they're gonna go, "Oh, you're pre-diabetic." No, no. If you're diabetic, you're controlled. You're doing well. Don, yes, that is very important. It's
Hmm.
just starting.
Yes, just taking some type of movement.
Yes. And Don's watch reminds him to stand. So does mine.
Yeah, mine too.
And a lot of times I go to my watch, I already stood. What? You didn't count it before?
I guess not. You
Uh,
better do it again.
your stand wasn't a quality stand. It's not what we wanted. But the reality is, starting the process, all right? You can have all these tools in your toolbox. If you're not using them, then they're worthless, right? If
If you're
you
not using them, then maybe they're not the right tools for
well,
you, or maybe you're not ready, or
but
maybe.
if you have just one tool in your toolbox and you've been using it, now you're getting yourself conditioned to say, all right, what other tools can I use? What else can I do? The
Right, it
idea,
does grow because,
it
like, once
does.
you start to like do certain exercises and like use certain things, then you just get super curious, like, and you want to see what other people are doing, and then it's like, oh, I want that.
So just make listen. We don't worry. I don't worry about like my New Year's resolution.
No,
Here's your July 4th holiday weekend resolution.
it's your independence.
By the next holiday, right? The next
Yeah,
major American holiday is going to be Labor Day.
yeah,
By the next holiday, have one exercise routine that you do for 10 minutes every other day. If you have a routine, but have it so that you can look at yourself and go, "Hey, I've been doing something," and
yeah.
then with the next holiday, go, "All right, what can I add to this so that by the time Thanksgiving rolls around,
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like if you look on YouTube and like if you have certain physical limitations, you can find um videos about like your limitation and some of the things that you can do to address it. You know,
mhm,
things that small things that you can do to help it. Like whether that's your knees or your shoulders, um, you know, um it your hips. There's usually targeted videos that you know you can look at and sort of be able to say, oh, okay, maybe I could try that one thing,
right, from
pick one
Don,
thing from it.
if you make a good point, we have all these awesome tools right there.
Yeah.
Using them sometimes can seem like a pain, but once you start using them, they really are amazing.
Yes, and they help you
All
feel
right.
so much better.
All right. So here's one tool that we have not mentioned. We have a smart scale from Hume.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll do like a part of an episode on what it does because it does everything. It reads everything and it integrates with your watch. But here's the thing.
I used it before I came away to be sure, like, because I noticed that I lost half a pound
Mhm.
before I came away. And now it's like, okay, well, I have to keep the momentum up of like
You
trying to be careful.
you can't track progress if you're not tracking something, right? So one of the things that is the baseline is tracking weight. Tracking weight is not
Hmm.
perfect. If you're putting on muscle, you're not going to see the weight loss. You're going to see more of a loss, maybe in your waist. I understand that, but what I am saying is, when you have a smart scale, your smart scale actually reads your body composition. It reads the amount of water in your body. It reads the muscle. It reads the density of the bones. It reads all this
And
stuff.
something that's nice about Hume, because I've had a Hume scale for a long time. It was one of Eric's rejects. He got some new scale, and
Went on to you.
this yeah that went on to me. Cause I don't know something. He got frustrated with it, and so I just kept using it. And I had the app on my phone. I was like, all right, well, I'll just keep going with this. And so like, what's nice is that I still have my history with that scale and a history inside the Hume app, so that what's nice is that you can use the app to give yourself progress reports. So like I'll measure since January um, until now, to see what my progress is. Instead of just looking at maybe a week or two
Right.
where it's small, you're just like, oh, wow, look what I did since January, and
And
it's very empowering.
and our human scale, which is the intelligence scale, it can hook up to different phones. So I have my account, she has her account.
Yeah.
We
So
we are it tracks it all separately. It's been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the new scale. Wow. Well, we had a busy day today. Um, Found a new restaurant to eat at. My blood sugar is not happy with me, but that's neither here nor there. It was a good burger. I'm not complaining. The fries were good. I probably should have.
the chicken sandwich was amazing.
I need to find another low carb option. But in any case, we're going to be up here for another couple of days. Um, I got to figure out when the next live stream with Glenn is going to be. We're going to put up a live. And other than that, listen, I want to thank everybody who's a member of this channel. I want to thank everybody who uses our affiliate links.
And thank everybody who comes in here and
Yes,
comments and encourages and
part of the community. I mean,
yeah.
this really is. I mean, here we are. We're in the Poconos. We had to time our day to make sure we were back in time to do Gamers Health. Okay, this is very important, not just to me. Yeah, smart scale, Death Angel. Next week we'll cover the human smart scale.
Yeah, we can actually show it to you.
Yeah, and it actually has a part you have to hold in your hands as you're doing this, because it's putting a little very light electrical current through you, and it's reading your body composition through that. So we'll get into that. And yes, we're in the Poconos. It's in northeastern PO. Your wife is from Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre,
Oh, okay.
Hazleton.
That's maybe an hour west of us.
Yeah,
We go there to
WVIA
shop.
WVIA channel 44 was the PBS station when I was growing up. My summers up here, it's the only channel we could get was channel 44.
WV.
WVIA, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton. So that was a trifecta of major urban areas around these here parts. We are in the outskirts of Hawley, the Lake Wallenpaupack area. So
Honesdale is probably the bigger
yeah,
town.
Holmesdale is big. It's urban living at its finest, as they used to advertise. God help us. Uh, so, folks, I'll have a video going up later on today for members. For subscribers, it should be up tomorrow morning. Uh, it's about using the forgotten sense of smelling scents in your games. If that makes any sense to you, you'll find it interesting. And yes, it was spurred by a scent that
a scent memory or something like that. Yeah.
It was an intense scent. All right, folks. We'll catch you all. Rachel and I will catch you next week. You'll catch me later on today or tomorrow. And, the ting. We'll do the ting. All right. God bless.
Take great care, everybody.